Okay, we are back. I do apologize, which is slightly obviously annoying, um, but hopefully, hopefully it works. Let me know if you guys can hear me, see me. Yes, perfect. Sorry about that, guys. So when the internet breaks, even for like a split second, YouTube disconnects and essentially you got to start the whole stream from scratch again. It doesn't just reconnect and continue, which is so annoying. Um, so I do apologize for that, but we are we are live again, thankfully. Hopefully that was just one time. Sometimes when this happens, it happens like multiple times, and that's really annoying. But hopefully that is it. So let's see what happened. Again, we're just still in this kind of rangy area. Buyers and sellers are still battling it out. It's kind of anyone's game. Nothing special at this moment in time. Sellers are coming in quite aggressively. Are buyers willing to buy it up? Like I said, I don't really want to be trading in this area right now, just because it's such a choppy area, you know. Lorna, good to see you. Broken candlesticks, David, awesome. See again, buyers just buying the dip, sellers shorting hard. Who knows? It's a coin flip here. If I had to choose a side, I mean, I would. I don't know. If I had to choose, it's tough to say, man. I couldn't choose at this moment in time. I really couldn't choose. It's looking good for both sides, and we're not looking good, but it's looking possible for both sides. Right now, sellers seem to have it quite well. They're adding volume every time, but then buyers also are buying the dip like crazy. But did sellers get stopped out? A few sellers did get stopped out at the top here, but then they just sold it again. They just re-entered. Oh, look at that. You see those massive jumps? Look at that in the volume. What is going on? This is like I said, dangerous area. Sit this one out, just wait for more clarity. You don't really want to be involved in this right now, personally. It's not nice. It's not nice at all. Again, look at that. Buyers still trying to buy the dip, but sellers are knocking them back quite ferociously. Someone's gonna lose, and we don't know who. So we got a little low here. We're getting very close to where buyers would have their stop loss, right? Are buyers willing to get out? Do we see a spike in sell volume, or do we see buyers buying it up? Are they doubling down on their trade, or are they going to defend? They're still defending. They haven't truly been stopped out yet. Oh, brother, I'm already in, and TP1 is getting close. Nice, nice. Well done, Tom. Again, look, buyers are still trying to fight it. They're trying to hold on for dear life here. But I wouldn't write them off just yet, because yes, they're very close to getting stopped out, but they're willing to keep going. They're willing to add volume. So look, they're making a bit of progress here. But do the sellers completely annihilate them? We don't know. Oh, they're getting pushed down. They're still adding volume. Sellers are still coming in somewhat, not massively. Buyers are buying it up. They're holding that line quite desperately. But I do think if sellers are able to push it down a little bit more, they're going to squeeze these buyers out, and we might actually start looking at going down a bit more. But we shall see. Oh, here we go. Oh, so close. They didn't quite get stopped out yet. Like a few, we see 88 peaked. So yes, there are some buyers that got stopped out, but the mass majority are still in this market, adding volume. Look at that. They're adding to their positions. That went all the way to 200, dropped all the way back down to 80. Like I said, this is a battle between buyers and sellers right here. Buyers are not willing to let go, but sellers are also willing to keep shorting this market. Damn, the buyers held it just where it mattered. They just managed to kind of cling on for dear life there. Oh, sellers coming back in for another hit, maybe. Buyers buying the dip. Like I said, it's anyone's game. This market's definitely not for me right this second. This is anyone's game. We're still very much in, but I think maybe the sellers might take a look at that. Sellers are coming in again for another push. They're really trying to get these buyers out the market. They're coming in with vengeance because sellers are willing to short now pretty low down in the distribution, right? Like, sure, buyers are buying the dip, but here we go, 111, 140. Oh, buyers coming in again. They're not willing to get stopped out. Look at that. They're adding to their positions. But are sellers going to overwhelm those buyers? I think they have. Yeah, they've just overwhelmed them right there. Wow. Let's see what the chat is saying. Sellers are now below the 200 EMA. Sammy, it almost feels like big money has figured out that small money is on to them. So big money is trying desperately to shake them off. Yeah, look right here. Absolutely. Look at this. Look at all that volume that's just appeared. Sell volume. That is buyers dropping out, but they're still trying it. The buyers, they're still trying it, but I don't think. Who knows? They might be successful. They might not. We don't know at this moment in time. But we're still, buyers haven't actually given up yet. They're still willing to transact, but I think the sellers may have just. I mean, we do have a low here, which again is going to be. It's going to be more significant than that one there. Look at that volume. That's all buyers getting dropped out. The question is, are buyers still willing to buy it? They are to some degree, but not massively. Sellers are still willing to short here, so it's still good for a sell, in my opinion. Sam with the auctioneer voice. Oh, I want to see the volume in this area here. But buyers still defending. Are the sellers going to actually break out here? Boom, look at that. 300, another 300. That's buyers getting stopped out right there. So buyers are out the market. They are dead. They are done. And sellers, look at all that is stops right there. Buyers are now out the market. So we know buyers are no longer in this market, but now the question is, who is going to take over here? Buyers are still buying the dip, but are sellers willing to short the market? This is the question now. Are sellers still willing to short aggressively? Because if sellers now, because this might not all be buy stops, this could be sellers taking profit as well. I think there's an element of both. These are sellers who shorted anywhere in this area, God knows where, taking profit basically. So sellers are also out the market. There's obviously going to be buyers, stop losses getting triggered as well. They're out the market. So it all comes down to the next few candles now to determine what is going to happen next. So fresh sellers coming in. Look at that, very aggressively. Lots of sellers coming in very aggressively. Are those sellers capable of getting this market down? That's the big question. They're kind of struggling a bit. They've put in a lot of volume, but they're not really doing much. Buyers are not doing great either. Sellers are still shorting it. There's a bit of buying happening, but sellers are still willing to short this market. Are the big buyers coming in? Are they gonna squeeze out some of those sellers that came in this little area? Who knows? Let's find out. They might actually squeeze it. Big buyers coming in. Let's move this down to here. Oh, that 200 there could be some of those sellers getting potentially trailed out here. Sellers still willing to come in. Look at that. They're not giving up either. I think buyers came in aggressively, but they didn't really do much. But sellers are also coming in quite aggressive, and they're not really doing much either. So again, we're in a bit of a stalemate here. Normally, one side kind of gives up. Neither side has given up yet, so we've still got this sideways movement. But if this is looking dangerous for the sellers, I'm not going to lie, because they're putting in a hell of a lot of volume here, and they're kind of struggling. Oh, buyers might squeeze these sellers out. Might look at going in for a buy. All right, I'm going to go quickly for a buy. Let's see if the buyers can squeeze those sellers out. But I've got my finger on flatten. The moment sellers come back in, I'm going to just get the hell out of this market, I think. Unless those buyers can hold it up. We really don't want to get below that buy. Oh, sellers came in heavy. Fuck me, they came in heavy. Jeez Louise, they came in really heavy. Yeah, let's get out of that. that was insane, the amount of volume they just put in there. 750. Damn. No, it's still stalemate here. The buyers got stopped out again right there. Those buyers didn't buy it up, got stopped out. This is still a stalemate in my opinion. It's not ready yet. This has been a crazy market. Yesterday and today, the buyers and sellers have been really. There has been no clarity in. It's been really what's the word? See, buyers are still willing. Coach C, TP1, TP2 next. Nice. This is great for education. Please give me a like for helping us. Thank you, Coach C. Great day today, Sam. And done 2,400 across 4 funded accounts. Beautiful. Stuck to my plan. Have a great day. Tom, smashing it as always. Well done, man. Lorna, confusing. It's been crazy. It has been crazy. It has been very crazy. Again, the volume's kind of dropped out. So there's part of me that wants to go long again, but every time the buyers go in long, the sellers just come in really strong again. And then when the sellers push it down, the buyers just come in. So you get these choppiness and then a quick move, and then choppiness and quick move. It's not like a clear build-up. Well, they're just not doing it, the buyers. Let's look at the 15-minute really quick. Let's just see what we're looking at here. It's looking bearish on the 15-minute, very bearish. Let's look at the volume distribution. That might give us a little bit of a clue on what is happening. Oh, this looks ugly. This looks really ugly. Look at this. Just look, this is ugly. Look at all those buyers. That was all in this kind of area here. And then the buyers at the open as well, they did all right at first, and then those sellers came in, and then buyers tried to take over again, and the sellers pushed them down, and now we're kind of, oh, sellers are coming in super strong. Look at this volume. Let's go back to the one, see what we just saw. Yeah, again, look at that 500. That's buyers all getting stopped out. Buyers keep buying the dip. Always here, getting wiped out. I think the sellers are just too aggressive right now at trying to get this market down. So I'm going to start aligning myself with the sellers, to be honest. They're just way too aggressive. They're just too eager right now. Way too eager. Look at this volume. They're really pushing in big volume. Yeah. This, to me, is getting more and more bearish. It's just they're not giving up. Even at the lows, you know, some sellers taking profit, whatever. But then, all right, we get buyers coming in, always buying the dip. They managed to kind of do a little bit of damage like they're doing now, you know, push it up a bit, but then doesn't take much for the sellers to just start shorting again. So to me, this is definitely more on the sell side right now. All right, let's wait then for a pullback, I guess. There's not much we can do, really. I think the buyers are slowly giving up now. You're seeing some buyers coming in, but it's not a huge amount. I think buyers have finally kind of accepted this area as being the seller's one. And just as I said that, buyers have come back in again. But they're not really coming in too heavy. I mean, look at that. Back down to 50 again. The sellers just buy it up. Oh, no, buy it up. They just eat up the buyers every time. Sellers are, what's dangerous about these sellers right now is how they're willing to short low down. They're chasing the market, which is kind of a double-edged sword, because it can work very good and it can give you these kind of steep trends, but it also makes them very vulnerable, because if you get a pileup of volume lower down, it just takes a few buyers to kind of take advantage of that once the market slows down, and then stop all the sellers out on a pullback. Look at that. Look at that volume. They're just adding volume. This is unusual amounts of volume for. Is there anything that's come out? I don't think so. Oh, something came out a bit. NATO to consider a Hormuz deployment if Strait is not okay. Well, there you go. Well, that definitely right. Okay, this is starting to make a little bit more sense. Probably should have looked at the news beforehand here. Escalation again. We got escalation, but it's not true escalation. It's just considering, you know, if it's not open by July. Okay. So I think there's a lot of people dumping orders, basically, and that's the volume we're seeing. It's not so much people shorting the market. I actually think it's a lot of longer term buyers dumping their orders as well. That's where this kind of crazy kind of sell at anywhere distribution is happening. Because what we're seeing right now is sellers are just willing to sell wherever the hell they are. You know, they're not waiting for clear pullbacks. They're not really strategically selling. They're just selling, like, constantly. Boom, sell, 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 sell. So now that news is there, it's made a little bit more clarity that this is probably more longer term buyers dumping their orders, right? People in longer term positions just getting the hell out, trying to find liquidity just to get out of the market, essentially. And that's causing this kind of sudden, you know, just volume being sold. And there's obviously still dip buyers, you know, people buying the dip. That's always going to exist. Again, just big volume coming in from the sell side. Boom, boom, boom. These are just people dumping orders right now. Right. So essentially, it won't go up until that dumping stops. Because we don't know how many orders there are to be dumped. No idea. You couldn't even give you a guess or an estimate of how many orders need to be essentially dumped. So until you start seeing the sell volume kind of die off, only then can buyers potentially take control again. So God knows when that's going to be. But look, they're still dumping, man. They're still dumping. Look at the delta at the bottom here. It's all red, 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 red. And it's big as well, big numbers. Not even small numbers. Again, look at that. Another 150, 140. See, if these were fresh sellers, people actually shorting, and don't get me wrong, there's going to be some element of people actually selling, right? Look at this. Look at this. They are dumping orders left, right, and center. And then there's loads of buyers taking the opportunity to buy the dip constantly. And that's why we have this kind of choppy movement rather than, you know, rather than this clean movement down. Because the amount of volume that's being posted, this market should be like flooding down with the volume that's coming in. But there's no true intention to a lot of this sell volume. A lot of this sell volume is, the intention isn't to actually push the market down. The intention is just for buyers to get out, essentially. Black and white, how are you, man? Long time. Heat map is starting to be bullish. Gamma is bullish right now. I'm bullish right now. Look at the heat map. You'll see the orders. I don't have access to the heat map. Black and white. Right. Also, from a macro perspective, with the all-time highs over and over, there will be a cool-off period with the sell-off. Absolutely, Isabella. Absolutely. You see something similar happen. Whoops. When you get to all-time highs, you see it, but in the opposite. You see buyers trying to exit the market. Again, dump their orders. So what you see when you get approach all-time highs is kind of nice movement up, and then just a random massive bearish candle, and then it just quickly recovers, and then another bearish candle. That's basically buyers dumping their orders. And this is kind of what we're seeing now, which is orders are being dumped, dumped, dumped. And this is probably to do with, yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, now the question is, how do you trade this? Well, essentially, when you see sellers come back in, if you see a big chunk of sellers starting to come back in, go in short, go in short, go in short. This is the market's just been dumped. You're just kind of waiting for, orders to appear, like big chunks of orders. Starting to look a bit. We're not seeing those big sell numbers come in anymore. We're actually not really seeing it happen anymore. Maybe those are all the orders. Who knows? I mean, it's impossible to know how many orders need to be dumped. There's still some happening, but now there seems to be more buyers. Well, oh, there was a big dump right there. But it's not as aggressive as it was anymore. Oops, sugar cubes. What have I done? Moving stuff about. Moving stuff about. Still a lot of buyers buying the dip here. This could be a pullback that we can take advantage of potentially. Just kind of waiting for buyers to stop buying. $113. They're still buying quite well, so let's just give them a few more minutes. All right, that dropped from -40, -19, -30. Still nothing great. Big chunk of buyers came in. Oh, more buyers coming in. There's a bit of a chunk of sellers. Let's see if they can make this happen now. Yeah, there was the sellers. Kind of missed that one, but never mind. Oh, but they got bought up again. It's still, I don't like this market yet. I don't like it. I really want to see something a bit more, with a bit more clarity, you know? I want to see something, because it's hard to know whether a lot of these sellers now coming in, are these real sellers or is it still people dumping orders? I mean, looking at the volume, it's a lot of volume, but it's not moving down much. Again, I would say it's more buyers dumping again. Yeah, I'm gonna let it. I'm gonna let it. Give it a few. I'm gonna let it roll for a bit before I make a decision here, because it's not a true. It's not a true seller. It's not a true, like, the intention isn't there, and that's the problem. That's the only reason I don't like shorting this market right, because the intention is not to actually push the market down. The intention is more just buyers getting out. But there are real intention for buyers to get this market up, and that can make them dangerous. Hmm. Who knows what the market will be rest of the year with war and things. Exactly. Yeah, same pattern almost every day, past 1 month. Bull flags or bear flags over and over, occasional failure. Yeah. I'm back in short there. ES. Nice. Nice. I'm gonna hold off for a bit before I just don't I don't think there was any real sell intention there. I think, again, look, we got loads of sell numbers coming in, but the market's actually pushing up right now. That means this, again, this isn't it's not true aggression. But maybe we'll see some true aggression come in. Buyers are still buying this. These dip buyers are insane. They'll buy anything. Still buying. Still not giving up. Damn. Damn. Look at this. They're coming in heavy, these buyers. The question is, I want to see some true sell intention. All right, there was a bit of a sell intention. That looks all right. But again, is it true sell intention or is it just people dumping? Because buyers are buying it up again at the bottom. If the sellers can get below, I did go in short with my cash accounts. I'm gonna try and have a look. Oh, come on, get below that. Get below that 130. Okay, good. I'm not in this account, but I'll have such a bad price. My cash account I got in at, I can't even see the number. I'm going at 729.50. I got filled. 729.50. So right here. Come on, sellers. Shall I go in the Ola Prime account? Have a bigger stop. It's just such a terrible price. Fuck it now. I'm going to manage the cash account trade. I don't like what I'm seeing. Come on. Get below those buyers pronto. If those buyers are good, I'm getting out. Basically break even. Those buyers are doing too well. Come on, get below them. That's it. Good, good, good. Push them down, sellers. Get below. Boom. Beautiful. That's what I want to see. See how we trapped those buyers? Pushed it down. Now get some real sell volume coming in. And let's make this rain. Oh, yeah. Now that's moving nicely now. That's good. That's good. Freaking hell, this market's moving a lot. Come on. Don't make me exit here. These freaking buyers, man. This volume is like so schizo. Jeez, Louise, come on. Ah, you bastards. Look at these buyers coming back in. I'm out. I'm getting out. What an absolute piss take. I might jump back in, actually. Let's see what these people do. The buyers took control again. This is such nasty volume. This is nasty volume, man. This is really nasty.